Hello everybody, my name is Admiredplague and welcome to my review of The Day Before. Now, I've played this game for a few hours now, so I wanted to walk you through some of the things that I've noticed in this game, some of my thoughts upon the game, and what I think is coming to the game shortly. So here we are, we have all the servers. I know the day launch came out, we had a really bad time trying to get into a server. It seems like things have been better now. We do have more servers, they have raised the cap on the servers, so things are working here. As I said, I've been playing for a little while. I am currently decked out. I have a large backpack. I have an AK-47, tons of ammo, headgear, everything, and I have started my camp. There is base building, kind of. It's kind of limited. You have 3 different things that you can build based on how much money you have, and you are able to kind of furnish those buildings with different things. I just have a basic campsite because I really find no purpose of these like plots at the moment. But the game is early access, so there it is. So we're just going to jump right into the game here. I want to show you some of the gameplay. I want to show you what the city looks like, New Fortune City. It's basically a reimagining of New York City, and honestly, it looks pretty good. I think the game looks good for what it is. I personally wasn't even expecting this game to even come out, so I'm just shocked it's here. I know a lot of people are upset that the devs said it was a multiplayer MMO survival crafting type game. It has elements of all of those things, but very separate. So it doesn't feel like one cohesive MMO survival crafting game. It plays more like an extraction shooter. Because it plays more like an extraction shooter, honestly, if you go into it knowing it's an extraction shooter, it's a pretty decent extraction shooter. I have no problems with the game as is because I already came in with such a low bar. I expected nothing. I was given bare bones, but it's early access. I've played tons of early access games, and honestly, I'm here to ride this one out just because I feel like it has a good skeleton. It just needs some meat. So here you see me actually looting a couple of the stores here. This is like a little market. You can you know, go through the cabinets. You can go through some of the bags that are on the ground. You can go through things, but every building for some reason has alarms, and they're very loud, and I don't know why, and I have yet to find a code to actually turn the alarms off, which is interesting because you could input a code to turn off the alarm, but I've never found one. So here you find me, I found a couple of things. Throw in your backpack. I have tons of storage space. What's interesting about this game is if you have a backpack, you have to go to a very specific exfil. You can't actually exfil at every location. There are specific exfils for people with no backpacks, and then there's exfils with backpacks. The ones with backpacks are actually farther away from starting zones. It's kind of an interesting mechanic, but I think it's meant to be safer for people that have no backpack to kind of go in, get a couple of items, leave, sell, and rinse, repeat. There it is. But as you can tell, like, the map is pretty large. I'm actually working on a quest. I'm not sure if you saw me load up my map, but there was like a big circle. People at Woodbury, which is the camp that you kind of like go to for all of your stores and shops and talk to different people and get quests and stuff like that. You basically can do quests for money. I'm trying to avoid being shot. There's a lot of gunfire happening down the road. Here's the map. It's very large. You have a giant chunk of a city, and then you also have like the outskirts of the city. It includes like a church, the woods. There's a highway that runs all the way down. You can go to a state park. There's a whole bunch of stuff. The map is actually very large. I was expecting to be smaller. It takes a really long time to go from point A to point B, which is why they added vehicles. I just don't have one yet. I am working my way towards getting a car, but I have to build a garage first. So for this mission, I'm actually doing kind of like a hunt mission, looking for specific items for Woodbury for the leader. I'm looking for like sealant and like different electronics. So I was led to this warehouse. Here you can actually see me engaging in some enemies. A lot of people are saying that there's not many enemies. However, if you're going to named locations, if you go to the stadium, you go to places where there's quests, there's actually like hordes. There's quite a few enemies. The zombies are not as abundant as I would like them to be, but however, knowing how long it takes to kill the zombies, I'm actually okay with it. There's definitely more zombies than there were in DayZ when it had that weird issue and they kind of got rid of most of the zombies. You actually see me, I'm gonna come here and there's gonna be a pretty decent engagement with a couple of different enemies. But I'm looking for my last item here in this warehouse. I'm actually surrounded by players, and then all of a sudden I get rushed by a couple of different enemies here. As you can see, it does take a little while to kill them, even with headshots. And I do believe there's like maybe like crit percentages, because I have noticed that some zombies take a couple shots to go down, some zombies take a lot more, and you have very, very limited ammo. The one bad thing I've noticed so far about this game is there is no melee whatsoever, and that's super unfortunate, because when you run out of ammo, you have no way to defend yourself. As you can see there, that zombie went down much faster than the other one, and then here comes another zombie around the corner. This zombie also goes down pretty quick with a few headshots. Missed a couple here. The weapons do feel good though. I have a shotgun on my back. I have an AK-47. There's about, I don't know, 18 different ranged weapons at the moment. They all sound and feel very different. The AK without any modifications has a lot of recoil, but there is plenty of modifications at workbenches for all the weapons, which is pretty cool. But you do have to buy them. So you just let me get the last item. I'm actually heading towards exfil. You have to be super careful near exfils though, because there are usually enemies camping outside like any other extraction shooter. You look at like Hunt Showdown or things like that, there's always people kind of hanging out around the exits trying to kill unsuspecting players. However, you notice that there's a horde of zombies going towards a player right now, and I'm going to use this to my advantage to actually get into the exfil, because they're drawing a lot of attention with their own gunfire. This is the outside of the city. It's very beautiful. The ray tracing looks really good. I think the environment looks really nice. I do have my graphics turned down a little bit due to performance issues, but I think they've patched that already. They've already put out a day one patch, which helped a lot of the issues. But we are waiting for the first big patch, which will probably come in a month or so. That'll add hopefully a lot of new mechanics and some of the stuff that they promised, you know, from the past couple of years. So I waited for the zombie horde to go by. The guy that was over here actually went into the church, so I'm going to take this moment to actually get into the exfil, and then when I exfil out, I'll show you what Woodbury looks like. So the audio design's a lot of fun. I do enjoy hearing the gunshots all around. It does feel very nice. Just to be safe, I do come up here to make sure that this guy isn't going to like come in behind me. He doesn't. So I decided to leave with all my stuff. If you do die, you lose all of your gear. You do have a protective case that does have, I think, 12 spaces in it. You can put certain things in there if you have things in protective case. If you do die, it comes back with you, but anything not protective case is lost. When you do come in from a run, you go right to the storage, so you can immediately put things in your storage. So I'm going to put away all my bullets and some health stuff, and that's pretty much it. I don't keep much on me. I put everything away. If you notice, I do have tons of money. I have over 100,000 Woodbury coins. I've been playing this for a bit, and I've actually really been enjoying it. So as you can tell, I've kind of gotten some currency so I can buy some stuff. Here you can see I've completed this mission. So I have to go find Chris, who's actually the leader of Woodbury. I'm gonna go turn this in. And turning in quests gets you a very specific currency. So you have Woodbury coins, and then you have like these other points. And I'll show you what those points are used for in a moment. So here's Chris. I talk to him. I think all the characters have their own nice personality. I'm not sure if AI was used for these voice lines and everything, but they do sound good. And they feel like they have like their own personality, everyone you talk to. So here we are. I've completed the quest. We're gonna get a little screen that says, hey, you've completed it. And we got these like 50 star points. So right outside of Chris's building area, you can come over to the specialty trader, and he only uses those like mission points, and it allows you to kind of get better gear without spending your Woodbury coins. And yeah, so it's basically everything that's at the normal shop, but using those like quest points instead.
Thank you for your purchase. See you again, my friend.
All right, from here I'm just gonna go around to Woodbury, and I'm actually going to sell the rest of my stuff. I did notice a weird discrepancy between the values when you're actually in New Fortune City looting stuff compared to when you go to sell it. The resale value actually is higher than what it shows on the UI. I'm not sure if there's like a percentage or something based on how much stuff you've done for Woodbury, but I've noticed that my gear that I am trading in actually has a higher value than it showed when I picked it up. If you do find backpacks and clothing and all that, I do try to keep some of that stuff in storage just in case. I do like the character customization options of like just your normal clothing. It doesn't add more pockets or anything that I'm aware of. Most of that's just from the backpack. But you know, You like to be stylish. So my overall thoughts so far on the day before, I mean, it's only 2 days out. It's okay. It's not as bad as I think everyone says it is online. I don't think it deserved the crazy review bomb. I think that every game that comes out has server issues and bugs until there's performance patches, because that's just the way it goes for new launches. However, I am upset that FNTASTIC did kind of lie, and I feel like it was a scam right out the gate, because they promised us an open world MMO, and instead what we got was just an extraction shooter that looks pretty. But as you can see from my gameplay, there wasn't really any glitches, bugs, audio visual issues. It runs pretty well on my system, and I've been enjoying it for what it is. I've really lowered my standards here. I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate for this, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So I don't know, I give this game a few months. I feel like it's gonna turn, hopefully, into like a No Man's Sky situation. That'd be really nice to see. I feel like if FNTASTIC does care about the community, they'll start to add in those things they promised, but I'm not quite sure. Until then, though, I am going to enjoy it for what it is. I'm not going to make too much content over it, but it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about the day before down in the comments down below. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and as always, be kind to each other. Bye.